Welcome to the AI Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Today on the podcast, we have the pleasure of being joined by Amit, who is the Director of Data Science and Insights at Novelis, leading a global team focusing on AI, optimization, and simulation, and various other Industry 4.0 technologies. At Novelis, Amit and his team have built over 40 use cases leveraging advanced analytic techniques such as machine learning, constrained optimization, and simulations in operations, supply chain, finance, and commercial. He is an expert in this field, and I'm super excited to have him on the show today. Welcome to the show today, Amit.
Thank you, Jordan.
I would love to kind of kick this off by asking you a little bit about your background and your journey. What brought you to doing what you're doing today? Was this something you kind of always knew you were going to end up with, or was this something that evolved along the way? Tell us a little bit about your journey. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Yeah, my journey is actually quite interesting because I started in this field before it was called data science. I used to work on statistical forecasting back in the days, and there was no concept of a term called data science at that point. So I was doing that work and, of course, built some statistical background as a result. And in between, I went to business school, got some understanding of business. And when this whole field started, I kind of was naturally inclined to get into this field and understand what is this term data science is. And I just then realized at that point, it's like, hey, it's statistics just kind of glorified at that point, which was the case back in 2011-12 timeframe, where most of the models were statistical models or maybe a little bit more advanced models that are using statistics as a base. So I kind of made my way into it, learned the tricks, learned the new concepts, and hey, I became a data scientist at that point. Fast forward, the field has changed or evolved quite a bit. I think there is still, I would say, notion among some people that AI is nothing but glorified statistics. And I think that was true about 10, 11 years ago, no longer true. So now it is becoming a different, I would say, a breed of a different discipline, I would say. So I have kind of just kept up myself up to date, or to the extent possible, with the changes happening in the field, and very exciting part of the phase of this field, where we are seeing things like ChatGPT and generative AI captivating attention of a common public. So that's actually very exciting for me at this point.
Yeah, so many advancements happening right now. It's super, super exciting time to be in the field, 100%. Something I'd love to ask you about are, what are some of the unique challenges that you've faced in implementing AI, optimization, and simulation technologies at Novelis?
Yeah, so Novelis is a manufacturing company. We are world's largest recycler of aluminum. It's a global manufacturing company based in 9 countries. We have 30 plus plants, about 15,000 people, right? And if you think about aluminum manufacturing, what we do is we take recycled aluminum and we create new aluminum coils. That's our core job. Making of aluminum as a process has been the same for last 250 years. Okay, what has changed is there is a lot of technology has come into this area where what used to be done manually is now done using machines, these gigantic rolling machines that actually roll aluminum, and you get the flat rolled aluminum coils. Um, and as a result, that has provided a lot of impetus for introducing digital into these areas. Things like AI has a very big opportunity in manufacturing in general, but more specifically at Novelis, having seen that very closely. So, as I said, there are a lot of opportunities, but that comes with challenges, right? The one of the biggest challenges, how do you go about change management, right? There is people have done certain type of work for many years in a certain way, and now we are trying to come up with like new ways of doing things, which requires people to change their behaviors, their modus operandi, and sometimes that becomes a very big challenge, right? The second big challenge is for any AI or for any advanced analytics projects is data. How well you capture the data, how well it's curated, and how well it's combined with other data sources is very important for the AI models, because ultimately it's a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. So manufacturing historically evolved in silos. There is a lot of M&A activity that happened in that space. So one of the challenges that all the manufacturers that are dabbling with how to get clean data on which we can build these AI models. So I would say those are the two main challenges: the human challenge and then the data challenge.
Yeah, there's so many different interesting nuances to that, and some of those challenges and issues. I'd love to ask you, what excites you the most about the potential? Where do you see the most potential for AI in manufacturing? What's like an area that you're kind of excited about?
Yeah, so if you think about AI in manufacturing, there are three ways you can deploy AI in manufacturing. One is AI basically becomes a decision support system. This is your typically, right, you do some models that provide some visuals, and it's like kind of like just giving a pulse of how things are happening. That's kind of like one application of AI. The second is decision augmentation, where you take AI and it helps humans to augment their decisions, right? Make better decisions, because humans have emotions, humans have fatigue, right? AI models don't have that. And then third is the decision automation. And automation is where you kind of like the AI models take over and they start making decisions for you, right? So the role in these three areas, the role of humans versus AI changes. You have a much higher role in the decision support and much lower role in the decision automation side. What we have found as our sweet spot in terms of AI implementation is that middle segment of decision augmentation. Okay, so humans are still making decisions, but AI models are providing them recommendations and helping them make better decisions, and almost act as a GPS or a compass for the humans to go in the right direction, right? It's like you know how to go from place A to place B, but if you put the GPS, it understands that there is a traffic jam on the road. It gives you a detour for you. I think if you think about AI models as in that context, that it's basically acting as a more of a guide for you. You can see actually it helps you not only to get the adoption from the people who have been doing certain things many years, but at the same time it helps you to amplify the value of the use cases where humans and AI acts in conjunction.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Something that a topic I talk about a lot is, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with this, right? You're saying right now the sweet spot really is a human decision-making augmentation, using these tools to help make better decisions as humans. But I think as we look towards the future, there does come a time when in manufacturing and a lot of other industries, especially when you kind of look at like humanoid robots and mix that with AI and automation softwares and technology and all that kind of stuff, there comes a time when I think people doing a lot of tasks do get replaced by technology. Based off of your vantage point and what you're seeing, what do you think the timeline looks like? What do you think the landscape looks like? Will humans eventually, like let's say in manufacturing, be completely replaced by technology? And if so, what would a timeline on that look like?
Yeah, I mean, there are different schools of thoughts on that, and there is each basically brings a valid point. So I personally am still learning about this space. I wouldn't say I have a clear crystal ball in front of me at this point. What will happen?
Yeah.
But the future could go in one of two ways, right? And there are like analogies from the past that we can draw and build on top of that. When tractors came, right, people thought that, hey, tractors were going to take over and humans will become completely obsolete. Well, that has not happened, right? So it just basically help people to become more productive on the farm, right? You can say the same thing about computers, right? I feel like AI can go in that direction where humans just become more productive leveraging AI, and there is a continuous employment, so there is no impact on of course there will be jobs which happens in any transformation, that certain jobs basically go away and certain new jobs get created, right? So that could be one possibility. But then there is, of course, there are very smart people and very reputed people who have been saying about a doomsday prophecy of like where AI will basically take over and humans will kind of like will be mass unemployment and so on. I personally don't think we will go in that direction. I mean, humans have weathered many other transformations in the past quite well, and it's the best way to overcome this is to basically continuously upskill yourself and upskill your workforce, right? So I think in at Novelis, we are doing that very seriously. We are actually have a very large ongoing upskilling effort where we are trying to improve the digital literacy of our organization as a whole. So we allow people to like take classes in different areas. Of course, there are e-sessions or e-classes available, but then we also run like academies within our company where people come and sign up, and then we help them upgrade their skills for free. So this is I think as more and more companies realize that is where they can get the best value, I think you will start seeing that overall digital literacy of the workforce going up, and perhaps that's going to lead to like new jobs being created and new workforce, and maybe some of the older ones will get obsolete.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. And I think, what an awesome opportunity for companies right now to really focus on upskilling and, increasing the skill set of their employees, whether they continue working for them forever or move other places. This is fantastic for employees. They have this opportunity to learn new skill sets, increase their value, and, hopefully they'll be able to make more money and do more. And so I think there's a lot of good that can come from this, a lot of really great opportunities. And I think, as from companies really focus on making sure that your employees and the people working there are learning everything they can to grow with it. Because some jobs, like this is a big shift. Some jobs will be changed or replaced, and there's going to be things. And so keeping an eye on that, I think, is important. Something I'd love to ask you about is, what are some common misconceptions about AI in the industry that you often encounter, and how do you address them?
There are many. I think the most common one that I encounter is AI is like a magic box. Okay, hey, I have this problem. Can AI solve this problem? But without any consideration for, do I have data or do I have the right processes, right? So I think treating AI as a magic wand or magic box that will solve all your problem, that's a big misconception out there, right? That's on one end. And then on the other end, it's completely opposite that, I've been doing this for X number of years, or how can AI do better than me? Or things like that, right? While there is definitely value in experience, I think the aspect of emotions and fatigue is, I think, something that humans have to deal with, and that's where AI can outshine us. Like doing things the same way, much better, much faster. I think humans get bored. And AI has no emotions, so it can do that. So I see that there are emotions, like the misconceptions on both sides of things, where people completely dismiss AI on one hand, and there are people who basically think that it's a magic wand that can solve their problems. So both of those, I would say, are two main misconceptions that I encounter all the time.
Yeah, I think I think that's so accurate, and definitely something I hear a lot as well. I'm wondering, in your view, what's the next big thing in AI, and how is Novelis preparing to leverage it? What are you guys currently looking at?
If you think about personally, in my mind, I think the whole idea of multimodal AI, which is an AI can do multiple tasks and has an ability to change from or take inputs from multiple dimensions. It could be audio input, it could be video input, it could be text input, and synthesize all that and give output in different formats. That's where I feel like companies like Novelis or many manufacturers will see a lot of value. If imagine a case where we have a problem, there is an AI assistant just sitting on somebody's shoulder. The AI assistant is watching the issue and using the model's train behind the scene. It kind of like runs through different scenarios and say, oh, okay, this is the most likely problem and this is the solution. And it gives that output in maybe audio way to the operators. I think operators can solve that problem much faster, right? I feel like that's where you will start seeing a lot of companies coming up where they can synthesize data in different formats, combine that, and provide the output to the end users in the fashion they want. So I personally feel that multimodal AI is where things will, where you can start seeing a big movement. There's already some work happening with GPT-4 just releasing its multimodal model recently. So that I see some traction already. The next thing I see is a lot of edge computing based edge computing and private 5G, where historically, if you had to send data in cloud for training your models and all that, people had to put like this big fiber optics, which was a pretty big effort. Nowadays, combined with private 5G and wireless sensors, data can be sent using 5G networks directly to cloud, and that's where AI can be trained and then deployed back on the edge. I think that is going to basically revolutionize the manufacturing industry, because the barrier to entry is now so much reduced when you do that. To launch a new AI use cases on the edge, I feel you will see like a lot of adoption and movement on that front. So those are two areas where I think the world will go in the next 5 to 10 years. Let's see, maybe we can have a chat in 5 to 10 years and see whether I'm right or wrong on that.
Yeah, I would love that. We'll definitely do a follow-up. I'm so excited to see what happens. There's so many incredible advancements that are happening. It has been amazing having you on the show today, listening to your insights. This has been a ton of fun. If people are interested in what you're working on and getting in contact with you or hearing from your company, what's the best way for them to do that?
First is LinkedIn. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. And you can just search for my name. And I don't think there is any other person with my name on LinkedIn. So I think you can find me as a unique ID on that one. So that's the best way. Send me a message. And other than that, I think, I'm also active on social media, so you can find me on social media as well. It was great chatting with you, Jadon, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. To the listener, thank you so much for tuning in to the AI Chat podcast. Make sure to rate us wherever you get your podcasts, and have a fantastic rest of your day.